Hey girl, hey! Welcome to my channel. If you are new, hi baby, I am Fancy. If you are returning, welcome back for another girl chat. Ladies, please do forgive me about last week. I have been outside. I've been so busy with the Patreon. I've just been like, again, it's December. It's the season to get a bag. In addition to that, I wanted to be sure to give you girls an opportunity to catch up on all of my videos. So I was just waiting on you. It's like, ladies, catch up. I was waiting on you. So today I wanted to do a little girl chat to answer some of your questions and give you some quick but beneficial advice to help assist you in this season. So if you haven't already, please do give this video a thumbs up. In addition to that, subscribe to the channel so you can come over here and sit pretty, get paid, and live a privileged lifestyle through Christ. In addition to that, girls, check out our Patreon. We are in our Bibles and we're in our bags too. The girls are feminine and fit. We had a couple of girls on our live from this past Sunday, which was yesterday, share how they cashed out this past week, okay? So ladies, definitely catch that playback that I just uploaded in the Patreon this morning. And be sure to join us for our live call on Wednesday. We are starting a new piece of finesse literature to further assist us on this level up journey. So yeah, ladies, there's quite a lot going on in the Patreon and we would love to have you. So let's get into this girl chat. Now, I did have a lady that asked a question on my last video and I figured, you know what, let's get into it. I do understand that all of my girls are not moms, so this question won't pertain to you, but if you stick around, I will get into time management and why it's very important to have a plan, to have a schedule, to have a blueprint to be successful in this lifestyle. So I just wanted to answer her question quickly. She said, Fancy, as a single mom, what do I need to do to be successful in this lifestyle? Now, there are quite a few things necessary. Now, when you are working full-time, when you are a mother full-time, it's a lot of weight. It's a lot on your plate. Okay, so I totally understand. I get it. If our kids need additional assistance when it comes to their schoolwork, their grades, extra activities such as, sports, ballet, dance, just any of the things, we have to spread ourselves thin. Okay, we have to be that super mom. We have to be at multiple places at one time, and that's why having a schedule is so important. It is very, very important. Not only do you do monthly schedules where you are writing in your major things, the things that are set in stone, the things that you need to plan towards, work towards, or work up to. And in addition to that, you should take either Saturday or Sunday to come up with your weekly schedules, to go ahead and write in these smaller things or the things that are adjustable. I'm not really sure if I'm going to have this appointment. I'm not really sure if this is confirmed or not, but now that it's confirmed, let me go ahead and write it down. You have to be on point when it comes to your timing. You have to be on point when it comes to your scheduling. So first and foremost, you have to make sure, and this is not to be disrespectful or anything like that, but obviously you must make sure that your kids are good, taken care of, and everything that they need is kind of mapped out. This is what my baby needs at this time. I might have some free time, some me time at this time. And so this is the time that I'm going to freestyle. This is the time I'm going to be online. I'm going to dedicate being online this amount of time in a day, and I'm going to dedicate booking this amount of dates, this amount of dates for, each week. And this is going to be my goal. If I can, fit in more, great. If not, then so be it. So, scheduling, timing, and setting small short-term goals. In addition to that, when you are a mother, you need to make sure that during the time that you are wanting to be freestyling, going on dates, or whatever the case may be, you have a sitter. you have a sitter. And again, this is kind of, things that you may already know. I'm sure that you do, but I just kind of want to, offer additional assistance, especially since you did reach out and ask. And so, even if this is not for you, for any moms out there, there are, at least here in Dallas, we have like little drop-in shops where you're able to drop off your baby for a date night. So let's say that I think on Fridays through Sundays, I think they're open until like 11 o'clock at night, and it's an hourly daycare. So they charge you by the hour, and it's kind of like in shopping centers. It's like in a legit shopping center. It could be next to a Bath and Body Works, it could be next to a restaurant, but there are different franchises that offer like hourly drop-in, childcare. If you didn't know that, look into it. We have quite a few here in the DFW Metroplex. There's some in North Dallas. There's some in Arlington. There's some in South Lake. There's, locations everywhere. So they're like hourly drop-in daycare, places. So during that time, even if you only plan on freestyling for an hour or two, drop your baby off, and it's reasonable. Again, if the longer the child's there, I think the more expensive, but I haven't done it in so long because my son is older that I don't remember how much it was. It could have been like $10 an hour. Like, yeah, $10 an hour. So if you're out for 2 or 3 hours, that's like $30. Again, since we are eating at home, since we are unsaving challenges, since we are cutting when it comes to so many things within our lives that are not necessary, since we are investing, since we are saving, then we should have, a savings fund specifically for childcare, especially if your babies are younger. There's also some in Plano and Frisco. I don't know why I didn't mention that. So, with that being said, daycare, childcare, having a family friend, having a sibling, having somebody that can look out for you when it comes to your kids. The next thing that I would state would be having a story. You need to have a story. Again, I know women who have 7 kids. I know women who have 2 kids. I know women who have 1. I know women who have 3. So depending on the number of children that you have, it's going to depend on, what your story is. Are you going to let this man know how many kids you have? A lot of women who have multiple kids just say, yeah, I have children. The more comfortable they get with that guy, that's when they get into just how many kids that they have. Again, it's about having boundaries, and it's about already knowing and being able to identify what you're willing to share and not. As far as genders of the kids and ages and stuff like that, I don't believe that that's important, at least not in the beginning. Until this man is on your roster and until you feel comfortable with him, or you're expecting him to pay for birthday gifts and Christmas gifts and, all different things like that, then I wouldn't even, concern myself as far as on date 1. I have 5 kids. Timmy, he's 2. Susan, she's 4. Rebecca, she's 7. Nathan, he's 10 and a half. Michael, he's 15. Like, I wouldn't even go down the list as far as, again, too much information can be a lot for anybody. If a man came in telling me that he had 10 kids or whatever the case may be, even if he's an amazing father, even if he's there in his children's life and, God forbid his wife has passed away, or, maybe he has full custody, I would be like, wow, even though he's checking off a lot of things on my list, I would kind of feel like I don't want to get involved with somebody with that many kids. And to each their own. I feel like everybody has that right to decide if dealing with multiple kids, multiple personalities, maybe an ex and baby daddy drama, baby mama drama. So I wouldn't get too much in detail with my children. In addition to that, you have to protect your kids. You have to be very careful as to men who prey on women who have children, and men who have mommy issues, and they're really looking to try to hurt you or your kids. So I wouldn't get into detail. And again, like I stated in my past video, you need to have a story. Even if you're out there doing it on your own, dropping your babies off at drop-in daycares, or a daycare, whatever the case may be, then you need to let them know that, oh, my family, my whole squad, You know, I have my dad is a judge. My uncle, he's a district attorney. Like, you need to have a story because again, you're not giving out those people information and that's not something that they can ever truly verify. It's just like, come on now, seriously. So you need to have a story, especially when you have children that are dependent on you and the decisions that you make. You need to have a story of a village. Of a village. It takes a village to raise children. You need to have that village so he doesn't see you as an easy prey. Now, if you have multiple kids, the drop-in daycare might not be feasible, might not be affordable. Like, I know when my son was young, I would drop him off for 20 bucks a night when I would work overnight and stuff like that when he was like an infant. But I was blessed to have found her. Y'all, don't go on Craigslist like I did. You know, Yahweh was with me and angels covered me because she was an amazing, or still is to this day, an amazing woman, and my baby was safe. So please take advantage of all the babysitter verified background checks websites to make sure your kids are okay. So don't do that. But you know, I was just throwing out tips and stuff like that. So in addition to that, do not introduce your children to these men. These men should not be living in your home. You should not be moving your kids in with them, and you should not be traveling with your children until this man has been someone that you've known for some time. Children get attached, even though children are very resilient and they bounce back, especially through unfortunate situations like anything. It could be absolutely anything. It could be a split, it could be a divorce, it could be, you know, whatever the case may be. Children are blessed and they are resilient, especially, you know, with the foundation of Yahweh. And with that being said, I would highly recommend that you do not introduce your children to this man until it is necessary. If y'all are getting engaged or something like that, by all means. But I feel like to introduce your children after 30 days, 3 months, and this man isn't consistently even doing what, you know, he needs to do in your life, I feel like you're setting your child up for emotional distress. You're setting them up. And I can tell you, I don't believe my son has met, I don't think my, and that's why my son don't play about me to this day. Like, y'all. So we was going to the grocery store. I don't be introducing my son to men like that at all whatsoever. And you can tell by the way he don't play about me, okay? When it comes to my son, we were walking in a grocery store, and I've told this story a few times to a couple of people. So if I told you, then hey, I need you to hear it again because he was not playing. We were in a grocery store because your girl's been cooking more. You know, your sis, she used to could not cook. Now I feel like I didn't accomplish some, you know, dishes and some recipes and stuff. Okay, so I'm so proud of myself. So, you know, there's that. But we were going grocery shopping and my son was all excited. He's been excited about me cooking lately. And so I was just like, Princeton, come on. And he does this often, but this was in the beginning when I didn't know what he was doing. And he kept on walking so slow. And one thing about me, I like to get in and get out. I like to get in and I like to get out. And I said, Princeton, please come on. What is going on? I know you're tired from school. Like, come on. And then I kind of looked behind him. I said, okay, I was like, you know what, whatever. So once we got to the car, I was like, Princeton, what is going on? If something is not okay, I don't just dismiss it. I wait till a later time or a better time to, you know, talk about it. So in the car, I was like, what was going on with you? He said, Mom, some people were looking at your butt. Now, if my son was exposed to any and every man that I was around, then my son will be used to the male attention that I get. Now, yes, since my son, you know, is with me most of the time, he has, and he's at the age now, he's about to be 11 in January. So he's at the age where he notices things and he knows what's going on. Like, bro, play with me if you want to. But if he was exposed to, you know, different people coming in and out of his life, I feel like that's very, very toxic for any child. And it's not, you're not protecting them. You're exposing them to whoever this person can be. And, you know, God forbid if this man in your life is somebody terrible, but you've introduced him as somebody that you trust and your children's trust because he's a familiar face now, then he could easily try to do something or take your kid, anything. God forbid. Let me not even put nothing on none of y'all. I rebuke that in the precious name of Yahshua HaMashiach. We not playing, you know, when it comes to our babies. So that's not the case. But ladies, please don't, for you to make it seem like, oh, well, he wanted to get the kiddos some Christmas gifts, so I'm just gonna, get on my kids and we're gonna go to the mall together and let him buy them whatever they want. Ma'am, do you not know what your kids want? And if you don't, then that's an issue. That means that you're not in their life like you need to be in their life. If you can't go with that man, you and him, and go get those kids some gifts, then there's a problem. There isn't by any means. Y'all don't need to be going out to dinner. We had a girl a while ago in the Patreon state that a man that she hasn't even met yet wanted her to make sure she had her passport, and he sent her the money to get her children's passport because he wanted to take them all out on vacation. That sounds like human trafficking, okay, with a T. He hasn't even taken you on date one. How you haven't even been on vacation with this man. How you gonna take you and your children when a mom, even any mom, when she is with her children, she is more vulnerable. When you are traveling with a man you don't know, and again, God forbid something happens where you don't do what he wants you to do or what you expect, you already in a situation on your own. He might cancel your room reservation. He might cancel your flight, especially if you didn't do it the way you needed to do it. He might do any of those things and you might have to come out of pocket. But now you being a mom and having to come out of pocket to make sure all your kids, there's no possible way. There is no possible way. So ma'am, do not have these men around your kids. I don't care if y'all are exclusively dating. I do not move this man in your house. Do not move you and your children in this man's house. You should not be living with any man that you're not married to. And if he wants to provide in a way, then he should respect the boundaries that you have for you and your household. You can provide, little Timmy, he needs some shoes. Or, my boys need haircuts. Or my girls, I need to go take them to get their hair braided. Whatever the case may be. I understand, ask for it. But do not have your children around these men. Unless, it's time to meet the family. When it's okay, that's a perfect timing. When it's time for your mom and your dad and your people to meet this man, and it's time for you to meet his family, that's when it's time for the kids to be introduced. Kids are so precious that they get attached to people. So if this guy happens to be a good guy and it doesn't work out, now you're introducing unnecessary heartache, men in and out of kids' life. Y'all be having kids calling men daddy. Like, who do that? Like, this man not standing in no kind of daddy role. And just because they daddy ain't no good, the only father that they should be focused on is our Heavenly Father, and that's it. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the kids. Do not introduce them to these men. I don't care how. I want to know that it's real. I know you're a total package, or, you come with you're a package deal, and I just want to know that these kids are going to be no. Until it is getting to that time where it's for it's that time for y'all to meet each other's family, because y'all are talking about marriage. Children should not be involved. Any of the specifics, no ma'am. So, okay, let me think. Is there any other tips that I can ask for? And you need to be asking for childcare. Especially if you're paying for childcare, you need to be asking for, you need to just, let them know, yeah, babe, I can't make it next weekend. I have to get ready for a tournament, a dancing tournament, a football tournament, a baseball tournament. My son has a birthday party to go to, or we're throwing a birthday party. Let them know certain things after, again, you've been dating him for, let's say 45 days. Let him know certain things are going on and give him the opportunity to offer to assist financially. But to show up and to be there and, hey, this is mommy's friend, this is Mr. So-and-so. No, ma'am. Mommy, you have too many friends that there is no possible way. You got too many friends that you ain't got no business having. Okay, remember, you're setting an example for these kids. Okay, the next thing, when it comes to people without children, people who have multiple jobs. Say you have a job that takes up a lot of your time. Say that you have multiple jobs, 2 jobs that you're working, working throughout the week, on the weekends, day shift, night shift, mid shift. You are working so much. You need to identify what is a priority. You need to have your goals. You need to have your 30-day goals. You need to have your 3-month goals, and you need to have your 6-month and a year plus goals. These are things that you need to have written out, and you need to identify, what can I start working on now? What do I need to work up to? And what are the goals that I'm trying to knock off that the deadline is coming up on? So my 30-day goals, I need to have these taken care of in the next 30 days. What do I need to amp up within my routine so I can accomplish these things? So within our Patreon, we are reading. Wealthy people read. They are absorbing knowledge. If you are not having these experiences in these high caliber environments, then you need to be reading about these experiences. If you don't have an issue with etiquette, you need to read about etiquette. If you have an issue with socialization and confidence, and you need to read about these things. Now y'all need to get off of YouTube. You need to get off of watching TV. You invest so much time into things that you aren't willing to fully commit to, or things that's not going to benefit you, that when it comes to that self-work, you don't have time for it, or you don't feel like it, or you're too tired for it. Second, fitness. No matter what size, shape, ethnicity, background, age you are, you need to be in the gym. We have identified certain couples, wealthy, affluent couples, that we highlight each week within the Patreon. And these men, thus far, the wealthiest men in the world, they are in the gym. The oldest men in the world are in the gym. The men who are paid, who have the knowledge and understand that you can't buy health, you can't buy a long life, you can't buy any of these things. So while you're breaking your neck to have this lifestyle, to have these investments, to have these assets, if you can't walk, if you can't get out of bed, if you can't wash your own body because, you're just not able to because of your size or because of your health, then you start to feel like, okay, it's pointless, it's counterproductive to eat, drink, smoke, do whatever I want, and then think that I'm going to live a healthy, youthful lifestyle and be able to enjoy all the blood, sweat, and tears that, I put into everything else. So, girls, I would recommend reading. I would recommend getting in the gym. I would recommend having financial goals. You must have financial goals in this lifestyle. You need to know what you're doing with the money that you're getting. You need to get out of that curse of getting money, spending it all, getting money, spending it all, getting money, spending it all, being in a desperate situation, trying to figure out how to get some more money so you can spend it all. You need to find out what you're going to invest into, what kind of accounts you want to have put aside, and how much money you want to have in those specific accounts. Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have, money that's making money? Do you have business ideas? Is there somewhere within your life that you want to get to, and how are you going to get to it financially? Again, you need to have joy. Joy is something that cannot be taken away. Happiness changes with certain situations and circumstances. You need to have joy and peace within the place and space that you are into today. If you never accomplish getting an investor, if you never accomplish reaching a certain dress size or a weight or a certain look, or having a certain aesthetic, or, whatever the case may be, or having a certain career, or living a certain lifestyle, or purchasing a certain type of home. If any of these things don't come true, or having children, or getting married, you need to be, and I love one of our girls in a group, you need to be happy and content where you are and what you do accomplish. So during this journey, you should be not only doing it to accomplish your goals, but you should be doing it to better yourself. And as you are bettering yourself and growing into a better woman, you should be embracing the process. You should be happy and content with what you're able to provide for yourself. You should be happy and content with the lifestyle that you are able to obtain on your own, the social circles that you're able to enter on your own, the people who you feel like deserve to have access to you on your own. Now, if somebody else comes into that mix, it's a blessing. To God be the glory. That is wonderful. But if not, you have to not base your happiness and peace and your value and your worth on you accomplishing certain things. This whole journey might be, I want to have a wealthy man, and that might not be your story. But everything along the way, when it came to fitness, when it came to health, when it came to investing, when it came to reading, when it came to knowledge, when it came to going into these social circles, when it came to adopting these hobbies, it led you to becoming a greater and better woman. And because of everything that you invested into yourself and you poured in to your life, and that you expose and absorb yourself to, all of the resources that you took into, you joined the Patreon, you mingled with other girls, you traveled with other women, you explored the world with, like-minded people. Now you might have not got an investor for whatever reason, but now you have a portfolio, of investments. You've seen multiple countries, you have girlfriends, like you have absolutely everything that you could ever want, except for maybe a thing or two, or maybe these are the things necessary to actually accomplish your goal. So again, everybody's not going to have the same outcome. Everybody who does what Jeff Bezos did when it came to Amazon, step by step did what he did, that's not going to guarantee that they're going to have the same outcome. Same thing when it comes to this lifestyle. If any girl out there or any person out there tells you these are the things that you're going to do, and for sure that it's going to be guaranteed that you're going to find you an investor, a sugar daddy, a husband, whatever the case may be, they're a liar. They don't have say so over your life. They don't know your calling and your destiny, your future. They don't know what your purpose is. They don't know if you're going to see tomorrow. They don't know if they're going to see tomorrow. So you have to have that mindset that no matter what I accomplish within my life, I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to enjoy the process, and I'm going to be happy and content. And any additional blessings that fall down or come because of it, or any goals that I actually reach, I'm going to give the praise to who deserves it. Glory to the Father. But if that's not my journey and that's not what happens for me, then I'm going to be okay with it. Go back to time management. So when it comes to time management, a job, an employer, they have a schedule for their employees. When it comes to the schedule for their employees, they know who's going to clock in at what time. They know what time they're taking breaks. They know how many hours they need to spend talking to this customer, or, going to these conferences, or participating into these activities as a group, or whatever the case may be, because they understand a certain amount of designated hours towards working to a specific objective will equal a higher chance of success. So if you do not have a schedule like an employer for building your own business, this is the amount of hours I'm going to spend a day on building my business, making sure that I'm an entrepreneur, making sure that I am self-employed by this date, making sure that I'm having employees work for me and I'm employing them. So this is the amount of hours I'm going to spend per day, per week. These are the sacrifices that I'm going to make when it comes to, I'm not going to shop recklessly. I'm not going to, waste money in this area. I'm not going to, buy the most newest expensive car because the value depreciates. I'm going to buy something more reliable, and I'm going to invest, the difference as to what I would have been paying for a brand new, all the bell and whistles type of vehicle. And I'm going to put that into a business. I'm going to put that into a situation that makes me money. Same thing when it comes to dating. How many hours a day are you online? If you are not able to freestyle multiple times a week, fancy, I'm a girl, I don't like online. I prefer to be the in-person type of girl. I don't have time for online. I just rather, okay, so how many times are you realistically freestyling? And when you're freestyling, after doing it for a month, how many dates are you securing from your freestyling attempts? Okay, so you might want to try to, supplement in some online dating. You can do it on your breaks. You can do it on your work. I could be on a dating profile right now while I'm recording this video. I can't freestyle and talk to you girls, but I can sit here and say, oh, hold on, I gotta respond to this message. So how many hours are you online? How many dates are you securing? How many days are you freestyling? How many events are you going to? How many times are you putting yourself in a position or a situation to be approached or to attract somebody of a certain tax bracket, of a certain caliber, so they can sit here and open the door for you into their society, into their community, into their world? So you need to do the math when it comes to, are you putting in enough hours? And the hours you're putting in, are they giving enough result? Even when it comes to sales, you might get paid commission or something. I don't know. I've never worked in sales, but from my knowledge, when it comes to sales, you might be getting a base pay plus commission. But a lot of times your employment depends on your performance. So even if you are meeting the designated amount of hours due to your schedule, you're putting in 40 hours. If you're not meeting production during those hours, you are still at risk of being cut. So even if you say, Fancy, I am freestyling multiple days a week, I'm on these dating apps multiple hours a day, I'm doing this, that, and that, but it's not producing anything, then again, ma'am, something needs to change. At that point, if you continue down that road, not only are you going to get burnt out and get discouraged and just say, hey, this is not for me, but in addition to that, you are going to be wasting your time. Something has to change. If the formula is not working, do not continue to use that formula. Maybe it's not your freestyling. Maybe it's not you being online. Maybe you need to be in the Patreon so you can travel to other girls' cities. Again, we're doing a freestyling tour next year. And maybe it's just your city. Maybe the look that you have for the people within your community, maybe it's too common. Maybe it's too basic. Maybe it's too regular. Maybe you would be a hit in another dating pool. Maybe it's the way you carry yourself. Maybe it's the people you hang out with. Maybe you're trying to live a double life and you still want to be that Tatiana, but then you still want to sit with, the royals. It's like, baby, you're not that good of an actress. You're just not. You need to figure out one lane or the other. What is it going to be? If you want to continue to date Dusty, you want to continue to live with that ninja you living with, then don't try to sit here and step into, these galas, these art exhibits, these red carpet openings. Don't try to be on somebody's YouTube video, watching them for hours, watching all their stuff and saying, why is my life not changing? Baby, you are not even doing what you need to be doing. But you will be a product of what you plant, what you sow. So if you're sowing seeds into ratchet environments, ratchet, venues, ratchet company and people and all of those things, why do you think you can produce a 5-star Michelin meal from, Piggy's barbecue? Like, why do you think that you can invest time and energy into these certain spaces and you can, glow and excel in higher caliber spaces? It's like you will radiate who you are. You will reflect the environments that you spend time in. So that's why just because you were born in the hood or just because you weren't born into, money doesn't mean you can't learn or grasp these things. But you have to be all in or not. So ladies, I hope those tips, assist you this month. I hope that it motivates you to start fresh in January or to, hit the ground running now. It's like, babe, time is of the essence. Our youth, and our beauty is our currency. It's like all we're doing is we're aging. Either you're going to be aging gracefully and, accomplishing your goals and your purpose and things that you have going on, or you're going to, procrastinate. You're going to procrastinate and you're going to delay yourself from accomplishing anything. So I hope this video helped. I hope it wasn't too long, y'all. I didn't want it to be too long. But yeah, I love you girls so much. I look forward to talking to you ladies on our Finesse live chat in the Patreon on Wednesday. And I also look forward to our Bible study live and uncut on Thursday. I hope you girls have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.